What's up, everybody? Welcome to Best Massage Tech, where today I'm taking a look at the Bob & Brad EM-19 massage gun. Now, this will be the fifth Bob & Brad massage gun that I've reviewed on this channel. The previous four all exceeded my initial expectations just based off of Amazon rankings and everything that I saw online. I was really hesitant going into it, but all of them overly impressed me when I actually got my hands on them. So when I learned of the EM-19, I knew I had to add it to my list of Bob & Brad devices that I've reviewed. So really excited today to be taking a look at this device. Today I'll be sharing what comes with the device out of the box. I'll talk about some of the specifications and features of this device, and then I'll share my final thoughts at the end of the video. So everything that comes with the EM-19 does come in the carrying case. This is what the carrying case looks like. It's the standard Bob & Brad case. It's got this gray exterior with this blue emblem on it. It's a little plastic medallion with the Bob & Brad logo. The case itself is about 10.5 inches wide by 9 inches high. It does have a carry handle with a rubber grip. It does come with two different zippers. There is no other branding on the case anywhere else. When you open the case, you'll see that everything has its own place. You've got the massager and the attachments and the charging cord on the bottom, and then you have an instruction manual on the top and sort of this little mesh pouch. So the device itself is a pretty unique looking device. So you've got all the controls on one side of it. This side of it kind of sticks out a little bit further than the rest of the device. So you see it's got this little protrusion here. The handle itself is a cylindrical handle. It is 2 inches in diameter. It has a rubber grip. The entire device is black. The top of it has some venting holes just for heat when the motor's running there. And then you do have the Bob & Brad logo on the device here. On the bottom of the device, you do have a power switch. And then once it's on, you can power the device on and control it with these buttons here. So this is what the device looks like. Next in the case, you do get a charging cord. It does come with a built-in charging block. It is only the US outlet that comes with it. And then the charging cord just plugs into the bottom of the device like that. They do recommend that you charge it for 2 hours before first use. As it's charging, this light on the bottom will turn green once it's fully charged. Next, you have an instruction manual that comes with it. This instruction manual just has got some basic information about what the different buttons of the device do, breakdown of the attachments, and then the back half of it just has some guides on how to massage different parts of your body, what attachment to use, and how long. You also get this little plastic bag that has 2 extra gaskets for the attachment heads. So that's what these look like. These are just extra in case they break off of any of the attachments. I've never had any of them break, but it is a nice little feature that they include with a lot of different Bob & Brad devices. So with that, it does also have 6 different attachment heads that all have their own place in the case. So you have a large firm foam ball, as well as a smaller foam firm ball. You have a hard plastic flat head attachment, a hard plastic bullet head attachment, a really unique attachment that they call the comb. It's sort of like a wedge attachment with some grooves in it. This is also hard plastic. And then lastly is a plastic fork attachment. Now I tend to prefer the flathead attachment or the round attachments, but I'm going to just show the flathead attachment for the remainder of this video. But in order to change the attachments, they do just easily pull in and out just like that. And those gaskets that I was showing earlier are just on the base of the device, base of the attachment here. So if any of those break, you can just put a new one of those on. So just to go ahead and put that in here, that is everything that comes with the device out of the box and in the case. So with that, I will go ahead and talk about some of the specifications and features of this device. So the first thing I look at devices is the stall force and the stroke length. So this has a stroke length of 10 millimeters. That's going to be the distance that this massage head is going to move back and forth from the device. 10 millimeters is pretty standard in terms of all massage guns. A lot of the original Hypervolts are 10 millimeters. Just a lot of them are really around 10 millimeters. But for me personally, I tend to prefer devices that are a little bit more powerful and have a longer stroke length. So something typically in the 14 to 16 millimeter stroke length. So for me, 10 millimeters just feels very vibrational and not as percussive. But again, it's pretty standard, 10 millimeters, so that's what this one is. In terms of stall force, I couldn't find advertised what the stall force is on this, but I have tried over 40 different massage guns, and this has a really high stall force. I'm gonna estimate that this is at least 60 pounds of stall force, which is really, really high and an awesome perk for a device like this to have. Now, really, I've sort of wavered a little bit on my views on stall force over the years. initially I was really high on stall force and it needed to be really powerful, but as I've learned more, you really don't necessarily need a super high stall force device. It does come in handy if you like a really aggressive massage and you're going to be pushing against some of your larger muscle groups, your quads, your glutes, your hamstring. But for the most part, you're just going to be floating over your muscles, so not really pushing super hard. So the stall force only really comes into play if it's a really low stall force where you can actually like stall it on your arm when you're massaging. But this, again, probably about 60 pounds. So I will go ahead and turn the device on and just show the stroke length and show the stall force. So in order to turn the device on, you just flip that switch there. The side of it then does light up. You're going to have two different indicators. You've got one side here where it's going to have 0, 0. That's going to be your speed. And then the right side where it says 99, that is your battery level. It only goes up to 99. That means it's fully charged. So what you need to do in order to adjust to the first speed is just press the power button. It will come onto that first speed. And this is a 20 speed device. So it's going to show your speed 1 right there. It's going to go all the way up to speed 20. So I'm just going to start by showing the stall force here on the lowest level. So it's really hard to stall even on the lowest level. Most devices, you have to get it up to the highest speed before you can really test that true stall force on it. But it's pretty high there on that one. I'm just going to go ahead and go all the way up to 20 here, just for the sake of showing the stall force. So there it is on 20. I'm just going to show the stall force one more time. So I'm pushing really hard here to get this to stall, and it turns on immediately again, which is also an awesome feature. So again, you're going to really struggle to stall this. This is on its highest speed right now, and it looks like it knocks down. When it stalls, it does actually knock down a level in speeds, which is interesting, but it does turn back on right away. So again, you're going to struggle to stall this if you're just using it on sort of the standard areas that a lot of people use it on, your back. It's got a nice long handle on it, so it is relatively easy to reach your back. And if you're curious on how to massage your back by yourself, go ahead and check my videos out. I do have another video that I give some tips on massaging your back. So again, this is a 20 speed device. So if you want to turn it off, you just press that button, it goes back down to 0. The 20 speeds are going to range from 1200 percussions per minute on the low end all the way up to 2600 percussions per minute on the high end. It does have a 20 watt motor. It's a brushless motor, so it's really quiet. The speeds, with 20 different speeds, you're going to have about 73 percussions per minute that you're going to add with each speed. I know that's really awkward and random number, but that's what I calculated it to be. You got about 1400 percussions per minute in variance from the lowest speed to the highest speed. So in order to change the speeds, again, you do just press this plus or minus button. You can also hold them to quick adjust. You hear the noise of the device here. I'll go all the way up to the highest speed again. I measured this to be between 50 and 60 decibels, so it's not an overly loud device. It is really quiet. Bob and Brad, whoever's manufacturing this for them, did a good job there. Right on par with a lot of other massage guns. The battery on this is not removable. The battery life is a 4-hour battery life. It is a 24 volt, 1500 milliamp battery. Again, it does take about 2 hours to charge. That 4-hour battery life is going to depend on how much force you're applying against it and what speed you're using it on. You can use it for as long as you want. I don't know about any sort of automatic timer that turns off or anything like that. So just the battery life is going to be dependent on how much pressure and how much speed you're using consistently with it. The battery is not removable. The device is not adjustable, so it is fixed at this 90-degree angle. The weight of this is a little bit over 2 pounds. I couldn't find what they advertised the weight as, but I weighed it on my food scale, 2 pounds, 2 ounces. So seems a little bit heavier, but I don't know why that is, because that is pretty on par. I think maybe it's just a little bit of this on the top half makes it feel a little bit off center. The handle on it is a little bit big, at a 2-inch diameter. It does feel even a little bit big in my hand. So if you have smaller hands, something just to be aware of. It might be a little bit awkward for you. The price of this is currently $129.99. And something that's super unique about this device is that it is exclusively sold by Walmart. So there's only about 500 Walmart stores that have this in store. It is also available on walmart.com. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in buying it, if you can't find it at your nearby Walmart. I know they are working to try to get into more Walmarts, but for right now, it is only available in about 500 stores. So really unique that it's not found anywhere else online other than Walmart. It must be some sort of exclusive deal that they have there. But obviously, as the Bob and Brad brand continues to grow and has a lot of high ratings, other companies such as Walmart are going to want to try to compete with some of that business with Amazon. So just so you're aware, it does come with a 1-year warranty again, if I didn't mention that yet. I guess to talk about some of the things that I really like about it, the stall force on this, for a device that's under $130 to have something that's about a 60-pound or higher stall force is really, really impressive. Again, a lot of the Bob and Brad devices have really high quality build, which really continues to impress me. So 60-pound stall force, big plus for someone that is maybe a larger person or has some of those bigger muscle groups that they specifically want to work and they really want to dig in on some of those and get real deep tissue with it. That stall force is going to be important for you here because it doesn't have that real big stroke length. That's going to be how you have to get that real aggressive massage out of this, is by pushing into your muscles. You don't want to overly push into it. You want to, cause your muscles to start to guard themselves, but you can push in and it's not going to stall. So don't worry about that. I really like the speeds. I think it's super unique. 20 speeds is something that you don't find too often. Most devices maybe max out at 6 speeds. Now, I do think it is a little odd that it maxes out at 2,600 percussions per minute. Most devices go up to 3,200, but you do get a lot of precision because there is no sort of Bluetooth app that you can control the speed. You get a lot of different variants. You can kind of find that speed that matters to you the most. For me, I typically just go all the way up to the high speed. So I'm going to hit that 2,600 percussions per minute pretty quickly on that 20th speed. Some things that I think they could work on with this device, I kind of mentioned it there. While it is awesome, they have 20 speeds. I think the range of speeds is just a little bit limited. The stroke length, again, I mentioned my personal preference is for a longer stroke length. Again, 10 millimeters is kind of standard across the board for a lot of massage guns, but my personal preference is something that's closer to 16 millimeters. I think that the handle is just a little bit too big. Their last device that I reviewed, the T2, had sort of a pill-shaped handle or an oval handle. It was much easier to hold on to. I think that's something that they could work towards in a future device, is getting something like that that's easier to hold for people with smaller hands. Then lastly, I would just say that the button location on the side here is kind of awkward. You can't easily adjust it like with your thumb, or it's not anywhere convenient like a trigger to adjust it. You do actually have to go with your other hand and touch it. And I know that's just a minor thing, but if you're talking about really getting down to the nuts and bolts and making it something really user-friendly, having something that's kind of naturally where you're going to be holding the device just makes it a little bit easier to control. So, really impressed with this device. I've been impressed with all the other Bob and Brad devices. Certainly unique that this is only currently available at Walmart.com or in Walmart stores. So if you guys are interested in buying that, again, I'll put a link in the description. If you guys have questions about this device specifically, certainly drop those in the comments. I will do my best to answer those. I always do my best to answer those. If you guys like videos like this, if you like the Bob and Brad brand reviews, please consider giving a video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. I have new reviews on products like this all the time. So if you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you do get those notifications when those videos are uploaded. Otherwise, that concludes this review. That is the Bob and Brad EM-19. That's a review. Enjoy your recovery.